Good morning, students. This is ninth standard mathematics, chapter 2, real numbers. Before entering into the topic, I just want to remind you that keep your notebook and pen ready to take notes. Today, we are going to see the new chapter, real numbers. The definition of real numbers is real numbers consist of all the rational numbers and irrational numbers. The real number system has many subsets that are natural numbers, whole numbers and integers. Two kinds of real numbers are rational numbers and irrational numbers. The different types of numbers are natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, rational numbers and irrational numbers, and so on. In this diagram, it will clear that the real numbers can be classified into rational numbers and irrational numbers. This is the mind map for real numbers. Real numbers can be classified into rational numbers and irrational numbers, and rational numbers further can be classified into non-integers and integers, and integers are divided into negative integers and whole numbers. Whole numbers are divided into zero and natural numbers. Now, let us see the definition of rational numbers. Rational numbers. The numbers of the form P by Q, where P and Q are integers and Q not equal to 0, are known as rational numbers. The collection of numbers of the form P by Q, where Q is greater than 0, is denoted by capital Q. Rational numbers include natural numbers, whole numbers, integers and all negative and positive fractions. Here, some of the examples of rational numbers are 16, 1 by 2, 3.56, minus 8, 1.3333, etc. etc. minus 3 divided by 4. These are the examples of rational numbers. The types of rational numbers are positive rational number, negative rational number, and the standard form of rational number is P by Q. The definition of irrational numbers is an irrational number is a number that cannot be written as a fraction of two integers. Irrational numbers written as decimals are non-terminating and non-repeating. These are the new words for you, non-terminating and non-repeating. Some examples of irrational numbers are pi. Pi is the example of irrational number. The value of pi is, which is equal to 3.14, etc. etc. and some of the examples are given in that. Now, let us see briefly about terminating and non-terminating decimals in the following video.
This is one of the most interesting videos based on classification of rational numbers. We know that they are either terminating decimals or non-terminating recurring decimal numbers. We also know that they can be expressed as P divided by Q, where Q is not equal to 0. But just by looking at a fraction, can you tell if it's terminating or non-terminating recurring? Let's see. We look at 6 rational numbers in the P by Q form. 5 by 2, 17 by 5, 8 by 15, 9 by 20, 17 by 6, 11 by 21. Without calculating the value of each in decimal form, can you directly tell the category each of them falls into? This category or this one? Let's make 3 rows and analyze it. Let this be the row of our numbers. Just for our understanding, let us calculate the decimal values of each in this row. And we write the form of each decimal in this row. By form, I mean either this or this. We will write T if it's terminating and NTR if it's non-terminating recurring. Let's try calculating the decimal values of each of the numbers first. 5 by 2 can be written as 2.5, so we can say that it is terminating. The digits after the decimal point end and do not go on forever. 17 by 5 equals 3.4, which is also terminating. 8 by 15 equals 0.53333 and so on. It does not terminate. The digit 3 is repeated indefinitely. So we can say that it's a non-terminating recurring decimal. 9 by 20 equals 0.45, which is terminating. So what we are doing here is calculating the decimal value of all the numbers and classifying it into terminating and non-terminating recurring decimals. Only 2 more numbers remain. 17 by 6 equals 2.83333 and so on. So correct, it gets classified as non-terminating recurring fraction. And 11 by 21 equals 0.523809, 523809 and so on. This part is repeated, so it's a non-terminating recurring fraction. Imagine trying to do all of this without a calculator. That's how your eyes would look, stunned. Don't worry, there's a quicker way. All we need to do is look at the denominator. Yes, even if we just look at the denominator, we can figure out if it's a terminating or non-terminating recurring. The denominator of the first number is 2 and the denominator of the second number is 5. We just need to keep a small thing in mind. We reduce the denominators to its prime factors. The denominator of the third number is 15. In terms of its prime factors, it can be written as 3 times 5. What about 20? It can be written as 2 squared multiplied by 5. 6 can be written as 2 times 3. And 21 can be written as 3 times 7. That's all we had to do. Reduce the denominators to its prime factors. Let's observe the denominators of the terminating decimals. The prime factors of the denominator are either 2 or 5 or both 2 and 5. Now let's look at the prime factors of the denominators of non-terminating recurring decimals. They have numbers other than 2 and 5. Yes, that's the trick. If the prime factors of the denominator are 2 or 5 or both, then the decimal is terminating. If the denominator contains any prime factor other than 2 or 5, then it's a non-terminating recurring decimal. These are the only 2 rules you need to remember. Have you noticed how simple it is to know if the decimal is terminating or non-terminating recurring? All we have to do is write the denominators in terms of its prime factors and apply these rules. Let's generalize these 2 rules. If the number is in the form p by q, then all we need to do is reduce q to its prime factors. For terminating decimals, q will be of the form 2 raised to m multiplied by 5 raised to n, where m and n are integers. It simply means that the prime factors will be either 2 or 5 or both. And how do we generalize q for non-terminating recurring decimals? It's simple. We write it as 2 raised to m multiplied by 5 raised to n multiplied by k, where k is a prime factor other than 2 or 5 and m and n are integers. It can be 3, it can be 7 or 11, whatever. If the denominator contains any prime factor other than 2 or 5, it will be a non-terminating recurring decimal.
Let us see exercise 2.1, and exercise 2.1 is given in page number 45 in your book. Exercise 2.1, second sum. Find any three rational numbers between minus 7 by 11 and 2 by 11. Rational numbers is of the form P by Q. That you know already. Now we have to identify three rational numbers in between this two rational number, that is minus 7 by 11 and 2 by 11. Solution. This is the number line. This you know already. So here see the numerator. What are the numbers are there in numerator? Minus 7 and 2. In the denominator, both the fractions have the same denominator, 11 and 11. Okay. So in the numerator we have minus 7 and 2. So in between minus 7 and 2, in between minus 7 and 2, we have lot of integers out there, isn't it? So we have to find three rational numbers between minus 7 by 11 and 2 by 11. Between minus 7 and 2, there are a lot of integers like minus 6, minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1. These are the integers in between the numbers minus 7 and 2. But in the problem, they are asking to find the fractions between minus 7 by 11 and 2 by 11. Three rational numbers. We want to find only three rational numbers, not more than that. Okay. So it is very easy to find three rational numbers between these two rational numbers. The rational numbers in between these two rational numbers are, so after that minus 7 we have minus 6. So minus 6 divided by, in the denominator, both the fractions we have the same denominator, isn't it? So minus 6 by 11 is the one rational number. Okay. This is the one rational numbers between these two rational number. And then next we have minus 5 we have, isn't it? So minus 5 divided by 11. Since in the problem they are given 11 in the denominator, we should write here also 11 in the denominator. So next number is minus 5. So minus 5 by 11 is the another rational number. Okay. So minus 6 by 11 is the first rational number, and then minus 5 by 11 is the another rational number, and then obviously we can write minus 4 by 11. These are the rational numbers between minus 7 by 11 and 2 by 11. We also write minus 3 by 11, minus 2 by 11, minus 1 by 11, 0 by 11, 1 by 11. Also the rational numbers between these two rational numbers. But they are asking only 3. They are asking to find only 3 rational numbers between these two rational numbers. So we have to write only 3 rational numbers like minus 6 by 11, minus 5 by 11 and minus 4 by 11. These are the 3 rational numbers. These are the 3 rational numbers between minus 7 by 11 and 2 by 11. This is the answer for the second sum. Exercise 2.1, third sum. Find any 5 rational numbers between, the first subdivision is 1 by 4 and 1 by 5. Here in this problem we have to find the 5 rational numbers between these two rational numbers. Rational number is of the form P by Q, that you know already. But here in this problem the denominator is different. Look at the denominator. The denominator is different in both the fractions. Here 4 we have, here we have 5. Okay. So in this problem we have to find 5 rational numbers by formula method. Okay. Solution. So here we have to take A is equal to 1 by 4 and B is equal to 1 by 5. Let A is equal to 1 by 4 and B is equal to 1 by 5. Now, the formula for to find the first rational number is, let Q1 be the first rational number. We will denote rational number as Q. So, let us take Q1 as the first rational number. Q1 is equal to, the formula is 1 by 2 into A plus B. This is the formula for to find the first rational number between the two rational number. Q1 is equal to half into A plus B. This is the formula. So now Q1 is equal to 1 by 2 into the value of A is 1 by 4 plus the value of B is 1 by 5. Substitute the values of A and B respectively. Now we have to do the cross multiplication, isn't it? So 1 by 2 into 5 ones are 5 plus 4 ones are 4 divided by multiplying the denominators, 4 5s are 20, which is equal to 1 by 2 into 5 plus 4 is 9, 9 by 20. Multiplying the numerators, we will get 1 9s are 9 and multiplying the denominators, 2 into 20 is equal to 40. So now we found the first rational number Q1. Q1 is equal to 9 by 40. We identified the first rational number. Then here they are asking to find the 5 rational numbers, isn't it? So Q1 we found already. Now we have to find the next rational number Q2. So Q2 is equal to, the formula is 1 by 2 into A plus Q1. This is the formula to find the second rational number. Q2 is equal to half into A plus Q1. This is the another formula to find the rational number 2. So Q2 is equal to 1 by 2 into the value of A is 1 by 4 plus Q1. Q1, the value of Q1 is 9 by 40. Now we have to do the cross multiplication here. So 40 into 1, 40 plus 4 9s are 36 divided by multiplying the denominator, 4 into 40 is 160. So 1 by 2 into 40 plus 36 is 76 by 160. Multiplying the numerators, we get 1 into 76 by 76 divided by 2 into 160, 320. Now cancelling both the numerators and denominators by 4. We'll cancel this by 4. 1 4s are 4. Balance is 3. 9 4s are 36. 8 4s are 32 and 0. So 19 by 80 is the second rational number. 19 by 80 is the second rational number. 19 by 80 is the second rational number between these two rational number. Next we have to identify the third rational number, isn't it? Third rational number Q3 is equal to half into A plus, before we put this as Q1, A plus Q1. Here we have to write Q2, A plus Q2. Q3 is equal to 1 by 2 A plus Q2. This is the formula to find the third rational number Q3. This is the formula to find the third rational number Q3. So Q3 is equal to 1 by 2 into the value of A is 1 by 4 plus Q2. Q2 is nothing but 19 by 80. Now do the cross multiplication now. 1 by 2 into 80 into 1, 80 plus 4 into 19, 76 divided by 4 into 80 is 320, which is equal to 1 by 2 into 80 plus 76 is 156 divided by 320. We can cancel this 2 here also. 2 1s are 2, here 7 2s are 14 and 8 2s are 16. which is equal to multiplying the numerator 1 into 78 is 78 and 1 into 320 is 320. This one we cancel by 4 also. 4 table we cannot cancel. Only 2 table will cancel this. So 3 2s are 6, balance 1, 9 2s are 18 and 160. 39 by 160 is the third rational number. 39 by 160 is the third rational number between these two rational number. The next rational number Q4 is equal to 1 by 2 into A plus Q3. This is the formula for to find the rational number 4. Q4 is equal to half into A. The value of A is 1 by 4 plus Q3. Q3 is 39 by 160, which is equal to 1 by 2 into cross multiplying 1 into 160 is 160 plus 4 into 39 is 156. 4 into 39 is 156 divided by 4 into 160. 4 into 160 is 640, which is equal to 1 by 2 into adding these two numbers we will get 316 divided by 640. Now cancelling by 2 table we get 1 2s are 2 here. 1 2s are 2, 5 2s are 10, 8 2s are 16. So 158 divided by 640. Now cancelling these two with 2 table or cancelling these two with 2 table, we have 7 2s are 14 and balance 1, 9 2s are 18, 3 2s are 6, 2 2s are 4 and 0. So 79 by 320 is the next rational number. The final rational number is Q5. Q5 is equal to 1 by 2 into A plus Q4. This is the formula. So 1 by 2 into A is, the value of A is 1 by 4 plus Q4 is 79 by 320, which is equal to 1 by 2 into cross multiplying these terms we get 320 plus 4 9s are 36, 316. 4 into 79 is 316 divided by 4 into 320, 1280. So adding these numbers you will get 1 by 2 into 320 into 316 is 636 divided by 1280. Cancelling these two with 2 table, 318 divided by 1280. This is the final rational number. This is the answer for the third sum. Exercise 2.2 is given in page number 51 in your book. Exercise 2.2. First sum, first subdivision. Express the following rational numbers into decimal and state the kind of decimal expansion. The first subdivision is 2 by 7. We have to divide this 2 by 7 and we have to change this rational number into decimal number, that you know already. How to change the rational number into decimal number. So first we have to change this fraction into decimal number and then we have to find the decimal expansion is which kind of the decimal expansion. Solution: 2 divided by 7. This is the given fraction. Now here we have to divide 2 by 7. We have to divide 2 by 7 by the normal division. Put the point 0. Now 4 7s are 2 sevens are 14. Sorry, 2 sevens are 14. So 20 minus 14 is 6. Already we have write that point here. So we have write 0 in this place. Now 7. 8 sevens are 56. 8 sevens are 56. 60 minus 56 is 4. So already we write dot in this place. So here we can write 0. Now 5 sevens are 35. 5 into 7 is 35. 5 sevens are 35. Again 40 minus 35 is 5. After that we will write 0 here. 7 sevens are 49. 7 sevens are 49. The remainder is 1 in this place. Now putting 0. Next we have 1 sevens are 7. So 10 minus 7 is 3. Again write 0 in this place. We have 30. So 4 sevens are 28. Now we got the remainder as 2. This division is going on and on because we didn't get the remainder 0 in this place. Again we have get 2. So started with 2 as the divider. At the end of the time we get the same 2 here. Therefore we will write 2 by 7 is equal to, the quotient is 0.285714. Again because we didn't get the remainder as 0, this process will continue again and again. So again we will get 285714 only. 285714 etc. because we have 2 again. Here in the remainder we have 2 again. So 20. So starting from 20 the numbers are repeating. This process will continue, isn't it? So this we will write as 2 by 7 is equal to 0.285714 bar. This means this numbers will be repeated again and again. So this type of kind of decimal expansion we will say that it is non-terminating because we didn't get the remainder 0. So we have to say this is the non-terminating decimal expansion. This is the non-terminating and recurring. Non-terminating and recurring decimal expansion. Recurring means reoccurring. The numbers are reoccurring again and again. So recurring decimal expansion. This is called non-terminating and recurring decimal expansion. This is the answer for this sum. Because if we get the remainder 0, then we will say this decimal expansion is terminating. Okay. If we divide the numbers, if we will get 0 in the remainder, then we will say this is the terminating decimal expansion. In this place we didn't arrive the remainder 0 here. So this is the non-terminating and the numbers are repeated again and again. So we have to say this decimal expansion is recurring. Recurring means reoccurring. The numbers are reoccurring again and again. So recurring decimal expansion. Second sum, express 1 by 13 in decimal form. Find the length of the period of decimals. Solution. First, we have to find the decimal form for 1 by 13. We have to convert this rational number into decimal number by dividing 1 by 13. Put a decimal point. So now we will put 0 here. But again 13 is bigger than 10. So again we have to write another 0 here. In this place also you have to put one more 0 in this place. Now we have to divide 100 by 13. So 7 into 13. 7 into 13 is 91. 100 minus 91 is 9. Already we have put a decimal point here, so we will add 0 in this place. Okay, now 6 into 13, normal, this is the normal division. 6 into 13 is 78. Now 90 minus 78 is 12. So write one more 0. We can write one more 0 in this place. Next is 9. 9 into 13. 9 into 13 is 117. Again, subtracting these two numbers, we will get 0 in this place. Already we have a decimal point, so we will include 0, another 0 here. So 2 into 13. 2 into 13 is 26. Subtracting these two numbers, we will get 4 in this place. Write one more 0. And then 3 into 39. 3 into 39. 3 into 13. 3 into 13 is 39. So 40 minus 39 is 1. So starting from the number 1, we are again getting the number 1. As said in the previous sum, if we continuing this process, this number will repeated again and again. 0, 7, 6, 9, 2, 3 will repeated again and again. This number will be repeated again and again. So we will write 1 by 13 is equal to 0.07692 because we are getting the remainder as 1. We will write bar in this place, 0.076923 bar. This is the answer for this sum. And find the length of the period of decimals they are asking. So how many decimal numbers we have? Period of decimals is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have the length of the period of decimal is equal to 6. Length of the period of decimal is equal to the numbers 1, 2. How many digits are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 digits are there. So we have 6 as the answer. This is the answer for the second sum. Exercise 2.2, fifth sum. Without actual division, find which of the following rational numbers have terminating decimal expansion. First subdivision is 7 by 128. So as the previous sum, we do not divide this fraction. We do not convert this to decimal number. Okay, so that's why they are given without actual division. We cannot divide this number and we have to say this rational numbers have terminating decimal expansion or not. Here I want to repeat the definition once again. P by Q. This is the rational number is of the form P by Q. This can be expressed in the form P divided by 2 power m into 5 power n. This P by Q can be expressed in the form P by 2 power m into 5 power n, where P belongs to integer, P belongs to any integer z, and m comma n belongs to the whole number. M comma n belongs to the whole number. Then the rational number will have a terminating decimal expansion. Then this rational number P by Q, this rational number P by Q will have the terminating decimal expansion. Will have the terminating decimal expansion. Otherwise, it will not the terminating decimal expansion. If we write this rational number as in the form of P by 2 power m into 5 power n. Okay. Then we will say this as a terminating decimal expansion, otherwise it is not terminating. For that, first we have to find the factors of 128 by LCM method. Factors of 128. So this will be done by 2 table. 6 2s are 12 and 4 2s are 8. Again by 2 table we will solve this. 3 2s are 6 and 2 2s are 4. Again 2 table. 16 2s are 32. Again 2 table. 8 2s are 16. Again 4 2s are 8. Again 2 2s are 4. So here 7 by 128 can be written as 7 by 128 can be written as 2 power. How many 2's we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 2's. So 2 power 7. This 128 can be written as 2 power 7. And here in the definition we have P by Q can be expressed as P by 2 power m into 5 power n. Here we have 2 power 7. But we didn't have any numbers with 5. So we will write into 5 power 0. We will write 5 power 0 because anything power 0 the value is 1. Anything power 0 the value is 1. 5 power 0 the value is 1. So here we have the value 1. 1 into 2 power 7 is 2 power 7 alone. This will not change if we had 5 power 0 here. So now in this problem 7 by 128 is equal to 7 by 2 power 7 into 5 power 0. So we have write this in the form of 2 power into 5 power some whole number. So this is the P by Q will have the terminating decimal expansion. So this rational number will have the terminating decimal expansion. Why? Because 128 can be written as 2 power 7 into 5 power 0. Therefore 7 by 128 will have the terminating decimal expansion. Otherwise we will say it is not a terminating decimal expansion. If we cannot write this number in the form of 2 power 7 into 5 power some numbers, then we will say this 7 by 128 will not have a terminating decimal expansion. Okay. This is the answer for the fifth sum. Exercise 2.2, fifth sum. Without actual division, find which of the following rational numbers have terminating decimal expansion. The second subdivision is 21 by 15. Okay. Now we have to factorize this 15 by LCM method. So without actual division, we have to find the rational numbers have terminating decimal expansion or not. So the question is 21 by 15. Now we have to find the LCM for 15. So 3 into 5. 3 5s are 15. So 21 by 15 can be written as 21 divided by 3 into 5. 21 divided by 3 into 5. So this 21 by 15 cannot be written in the form of 2 into 5. So we didn't, here the number 3 appear here. Here the number 3 appear here. So this rational number 21 by 15 is not a terminating decimal expansion. This will not have a terminating decimal expansion. This is non-terminating decimal expansion. Only 21 by 15 can be expressed as 21 divided by 2 power something into 5 power something. Then only we will say that the rational number have the terminating decimal expansion. But here 15 can be written as 3 into 5 only. Here the number 3 appears. So this is non-terminating decimal expansion. This is non-terminating decimal expansion. This is non-terminating decimal expansion. Exercise 2.3 is given in page number 55 in your book. Find any two. Exercise 2.3, second sum. Find any two irrational numbers between. The first subdivision is 0.3010011110011 etc. etc. and 0.30200200002 etc. etc. So between these two irrational numbers there is uncountable irrational numbers we can write. Okay, there is uncountable irrational numbers we can write here. This is very simple sum. So you can write 0 point, write this number as it is. The 30100110011. Write this number as it is and then add extra 1 0, 4 zeros, 4 zeros, 4 1 etc. etc. Then obviously the next number is we can write the answer as, write this number as it is 0.30100110011, add 1 0 1 etc. etc. Write this number as it is and write 0 1 here, and then they are asking only two irrational numbers. So the next irrational number is 30100110011. After that 0 1 write 0 2 etc. etc. Like this we will write the rational, uncountable rational numbers between these two rational numbers. They are asking only two irrational numbers between two irrational numbers. So this is the answer for the second sum. Students, these are the practice sums for you. Practice these sums in your notebook and submit it when school reopens. If you have any doubts in this, it will be clarified when school reopens.